you reached out to me very, very early in the beginning of this show to be on the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. Well, I'll refresh your memory.
Sure.
For the audience. And I think this is important because I've really tried to stay true to this message. And I said no. Right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I cleared the air to make sure that it was clear why I said no. Hey everybody, I'm Eric Oberembt, and you're listening to Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. We talk about real shit, what's on our minds, and don't give a fuck if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for some real shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. I'm your host, Eric Oberembt, here at Win the Storm 2024 or something like that. Boy, can't even have a podcast without somebody dropping fucking cards in this bitch, right?
Noble Public Adjusting
Get the fuck out of here. Which one is it? Let me see. Oh, that fucking guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're up in this.
No. So, you know when I first met... All right, first, Tim Brown's our guest today. We just decided to fucking go into it, but Tim Brown's our guest today. I met this guy for the first fucking... You know who this is?
No.
That fucking Bo Williamson.
Oh, okay.
I met him at the first Win the Storm I ever went to in 2016 in Miami. That was a shit show at a whorehouse. Did you know this?
I did not, but I've heard some stories.
So the first Win the Storm got moved. It was supposed to be at some place called the Ice Palace, or I don't know what it was, but it got moved to this place that was like under a fucking bridge.
Yeah.
So like you couldn't leave because you'd get raped or robbed or something. And after it was over, I was like, what was that fucking place? Like that was awful. And they're like, it was an old whorehouse. And I was like, oh, now I get it. Because like you'd walk down hallways and there'd be these little rooms and it's like, oh, that's the fuck room. Yeah. And that was the whole deal. Like it was awesome. Like off. But that's when I first met this guy. This is the guy that made the little show where he like fake fights insurance adjusters.
Interesting.
And he's a public adjuster.
He started that genre.
He did start that genre. Yeah. But then he goes online and just screams about Jesus. And how, like,
so both.
Yeah. Okay. And like he hates you if you fucking don't believe what he believes.
Okay, perfect.
So, hey, Bo. Tim, thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. So real quick, I want to get into, I started this podcast, about 2.5, 3 years ago, I think, something like that.
Okay.
And you reached out to me. I want to fucking elephant room, fucking get rid of it, right? You reached out to me very, very early in the beginning of this show to be on the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. Well, I'll refresh your memory.
Sure. For
the audience. And I think this is important because I've really tried to stay true to this message. And I said no. Right? Yeah. And I wanted to make sure I cleared the air to make sure that it was clear why I said no.
Okay.
Right? Because that's important to me.
Okay.
And it was because you were the first person that ever came at me to be on the show, and it seemed like you wanted to pitch.
Okay.
Because you said, hey, let's talk marketing or something like that, right? And I was like, bleh.
Yeah. Well,
because I had this whole vision for the show, right? Of like not doing that. And it's been interesting how it's like, it hasn't changed, but like now that I've been in this game for a while, now I get it. Where like then I didn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. No, and I like that. I like that you're not doing that, and I'm happy to talk about other stuff because, I'm a whole human being.
Right.
And
we all do something for a living.
Yes.
We all fucking make money somehow.
Yeah, and to be honest, because you'd said somewhere in the promotion of this, you're like, I'm going to tell you why I didn't have you on.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could be so many things. I've done some shit to piss people off in my life, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just got confronted over here at the show.
By who?
I'm not going to say the name.
Why not? Fuck him.
As a lead guy.
Oh.
And, he was upset with me because I blocked him. I blocked a few people, too. There's...
Why'd you block him?
I blocked him because I was posting about my business. He was posting, like, he was commenting underneath it, like, with a pitch for his exact...
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so he was pitching.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
man, time flies.
Time does fly, doesn't it?
Quick.
Yeah. Especially during COVID bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
What has it been, like 4 years? It's been 4 fucking years since COVID started.
What's crazy is that I used to, and maybe you do this too, because you're clean. Are you clean? Like you're clean. Okay.
0.
All right. You're not like the fucking California sober people that came to the meeting this morning, okay?
Hey, respect. Hey, you're trying.
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it would be easy if we could smoke weed sometimes. Like, oh, if I could smoke weed, I'd be fucking, like, I could.
Ooh, this is not what I was going to ask. I totally forgot what I was going to ask, but I wanted to ask you this. I was going to ask Doug, but I decided I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
I might ask Steven, too. What are your thoughts on microdosing?
Oh, every once in a while I'm like, I wonder if I could.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, because, well, you see a number, even people in the roofing industry, like doing, what is like horse tranquilizer shit?
What? Horse tranquilizer?
Ketamine.
Oh, yeah.
Ketamine therapy. So you see, like, there's people.
I haven't heard that.
High-level people in the roofing industry kind of like conducting little retreats with it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not trying to like out anyone, but like,
you're good at fucking like starting rumors and shit and not naming fucking names. I'll give you that much.
Oh God, I should really switch my vibe. No, but basically, that has been attractive to me, and microdosing has been attractive to. What's the other one?
So why is the ketamine one attractive? To you?
I think well, because I'm a very high-strung person.
Okay.
And like they'll lay you down and you take it and then you're supposed to like fucking be more chill afterwards. And I've talked to a friend of mine who's a roofing company owner who did this. Yeah. And he like literally was kind of a changed man. And he actually was drinking less. But this is the hope of every alcoholic. Is that
figure out
one day I'll be able to fix my
drink
shit
like a gentleman.
Yeah. I'll be able to fix my shit with ketamine or whatever.
Ketamine. I was just curious because like I've got a lot of friends in the industry and outside of the industry that like have totally bought into this microdosing thing.
Sure.
And that it's just an absolute game changer for depression, for anxiety, for all these things.
And I think Bill W was a
right, and then that came to light, and I was like, "Wow, motherfuck, they got me now," you know. And I started having these conversations with myself about it, and here's the answer that I came to.
Sure.
I know I'm an addict. I know I'm an alcoholic. I don't know if I want to do it because I want to be better or because I want a loophole.
That's right. I think it's hard to know.
It's hard to know. But then, what if I do, people find out, somebody else does it, and then they fucking go back and use and die?
That's a good point.
I feel like I have a responsibility now.
Yeah, because we're part of a community, like, and ultimately, like, that is a thing. Like, I'm connected in with my local recovery group, right? And I feel like I get so much from being there and helping people, even if it's in a little way every once in a while or a share here or there or whatever. And I'm not really willing to sacrifice that.
Right. Agreed. 100%.
Like, so, and I basically, like, I've got this connection already that's bigger. And unfortunately, the rules there's no rules. They're like suggestions, right?
Right.
There's no rules. No fucking rules. But I appreciate the suggestions and kind of the social pressure to maybe, hey, and plus it's like a dream of like fixing it a different way.
Yeah.
You know, I have a dream of fixing my sickness, if I could call it that.
You can. It's yours.
Some might call it an allergy. I think of it as like neurosis a little bit, you know, like I'm a neurotic.
Not to be confused with cirrhosis.
Yeah, okay. Which I'm not 100% positive I don't have.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of, I want to fix that in like I know because I'm already trying to fix it in other ways, you know, here or there. And those ways usually fail, whatever happens to
How
me.
long have you been clean?
13 years.
Okay. And what was your moment, your bottom? Yeah.
So biggest thing was I had a situation where I was in Memphis. I revisited Memphis last week for the first time since then, which was wild.
Oh, wow.
But Memphis, and I was at it was like a spring on Beale Street type thing or something, this spring in Memphis. And I was basically doing a lot of psychedelics.
Okay.
We're talking uppers, downers, screamers, roundabouters, DMT, mushrooms, and like fake weed. You know, it was a weird time where you get that.
Like, was that like the sativa or whatever?
Or no, like the shit that you get out of like gas station or something like that. on Morning Glory seeds from fucking Home Depot, and I'm pretty sure I stole them. Like,
okay.
this is where I was at in life.
Got it.
You know, I was stealing shit to fucking get high, kind of.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And weird shit, too, that you probably shouldn't be doing. So anyways, the day I didn't do anything, like, we're talking months and months and maybe even a year or whatever fucked up. And then, like, the day I don't do something, I was bicycling. This is a weird trip. I was trying to go from Oklahoma to New York on bicycle. And,
Why?
I think we just thought it would be a weird story and a fun story. And we got a couple states over. We got picked up.
I'd say that you've just kind of continued that with your life moving forward, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to have an interesting story.
Yeah, good. Love that.
So, exactly. There's a lot to continue there. And then basically, though, we got a couple states over. We got picked up a couple times by ladies along the way. You know, college students.
Oh.
Some girl that was like a meth addict. And
did you sleep with them?
See, that's a good question.
The answer should be yes.
Well, here's the thing. I was trying to hold off. You know what I mean?
Why?
I was trying to hold off because I just didn't know what was going on. This is a good story. She took me to a gas station. She was like trying to convince me. She's like, all right, let's do this. And she's like talking to somebody at the gas station. She's like, you know me from high school. You know I was good and bad. And I was like, why would that convince me? I was trying not to get something.
Right.
But anyways.
That's fair. Okay.
And so I didn't, she was really trying to beg me to,
Bang her.
Suck whatever.
Yeah.
And she made me this steak from her freezer that was like freezer burnt, and it was terrible. And I was like, if that's what the steak level is like, I'm not sure what that is.
You don't want to check out the meat curtains. Yeah. That's fantastic. Okay, so go on. You're traveling across.
We did get one more stop down, and I just, in a bathtub, I just was like, all right, let's do this. But
yeah, good. Okay.
I bagged it.
More respect now.
I might have even double bagged it.
Yeah, that always works.
Yeah.
I've been told.
Science. So, yeah, I got a couple states down or whatever, and it was really like, I was tripping. It was a good time. I was like, kind of like, had a couple like, oh, this is a crazy psychedelic moment. But I was on this trip, and I was like, I was kind of freaking out. I lost my bank card, and yeah, I did say I was an unhoused gentleman, but I was a couple like weeks or a month out from being housed. I wasn't like years on end, which is obviously a different level, but it was kind of messed up. And then I didn't have something. My tire popped for my bike, and I was trying to go into Walmart and like steal. I don't know, like a wheel tire innard, and I just didn't have the nerve. I just was like losing my nerve for this whole thing. And then I was camping, and I thought I was visited by aliens. So, and I was camping, and
maybe you were.
Yeah, technically, possibly. So they were chasing me, the aliens.
Okay.
And I ran and I sprinted.
But you actually ran.
Yes.
This wasn't like, okay.
Yeah, I ran and I sprinted. And we're talking my first day sober, my first 2 days sober in a row in a long time. I don't know why, but I was like not smoking. I was like choosing not to smoke because I was feeling very like fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was trying to like, let's just do a couple days sober here, Tim, to get this fucking like back on track. And so then I sprinted off and I like hid in a golf course. I like jumped over a fence, and then I like got poison ivy somewhere in there. And then I was like, and then I went and walked. This is like not good for my like public relations, but nonetheless, I walked down the street completely naked, and it was like 3 a.m. and then somebody saw me in front of like a McDonald's, and they're like, hey, called the cops, and the cops were like, hey, you can go to jail or you can go to a psych ward, and in this state you're probably not going to do that great in jail. So
what state were you in?
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, and in psych ward.
So you went to the psych ward?
Psych ward was rough.
I bet.
Psych ward in Tennessee, Memphis, I just really don't recommend it. I give it 1 out of 5 stars.
1 out of 5. That's fair.
And I would rate it if they had rating systems for that.
So was that it? Was that when you got clean?
Yeah. So I'd already been, down in Texas. I lived down in Texas, playing in a band down there, and I had like my band buddies were in AA.
Really?
Yeah. So, and they had been heroin addicts, and so I went to a few of those meetings, but I was like, oh, I'm not a heroin addict. I'm good. You know?
Right. I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like the first AA meeting or whatever I went to, there's like somebody was like, yeah, fucking killed a family. You know, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good. I'm like, haven't killed a family yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So when exactly, when I was in the psych ward, I was just basically like, I've already kind of thought about this and I'm not loving like the results I'm getting from whatever I'm doing right now. So I was like, I kind of came to terms with something in there, and I also wanted to get out of there.
Yeah.
So part of it was I just wanted to get out of there, and I was like, I'm an alcoholic. And they sent they asked me in the psych ward, they're like, what are you gonna, where are you gonna go when you get out of here? And my answer at that time was left, right, straight.
Would you like to give me some direction?
Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah, apparently I asked for that because they're like, fuck you, you're going, like, either you got to go to somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're fucked up. And I'll be real, like, once I got sober, so they shipped me back to Minnesota. And once I got sober, I lived with my family for 6 months, which fucking thank God that I had somebody to, like, go to. Because obviously that's kind of how, like, real homelessness could start, like, if you were psychotic.
Yep.
So super grateful for them to let me back because they weren't like enthused with my general direction, but they let me come back, and I was basically out of my mind for another 6 months after that. Like I was functional. I worked at Half Price Books.
Okay. I was just going to ask you what you were doing for work.
Yeah. And I was like, there's an AA meeting by there, and I just kept on going.
Are you still plugged in? Like, you still go to meetings? And...
Yeah, I'm not like as crazy plugged in as I used to be, but like, weekly kind of thing.
Okay.
Because like
that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we started Roofers in Recovery, because like Paul and I were not plugged in anymore, right? Like we'd both been sober for a decade, but we were sitting there and we're like, we don't really do enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not doing the stuff we used to do. We're not helping people. We're not whatever. And like selfishly, we started Roofers in Recovery just to start having our own meetings so that we'd have fellowship and, all the stuff all the gifts we were given in the beginning when we were going all the fucking time, right? And you built those relationships and you did the steps and you did all the stuff. That's why like I religiously am always every week on a Roofers in Recovery meeting just because like that's my fellowship, Yeah. I try to find a local meeting, as well, just to dial into, but I've been doing that for so long. When did you start getting into the world that you're in now, work-wise?
So, I kind of done some of the marketing stuff for the band.
Okay.
And like I really liked it. I was like always like I'd like lose myself in like video editing or something. We'd do something stupid for the band, and I'd be like,
yeah.
So I just like got back into college, and my wife told me my music sucked. And she was. Was she accurate? Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun. I really like it, but it's like as far as like this day and age, you can listen to the best artist in the world at your fingertips,
right,
all the time,
right.
Maybe back in the minstrel days or something, I could have made it in like a local.
The minstrel.
What
the fuck is that?
Like those little guys with bells that would walk around and be like,
is that what it's called?
It was
called the minstrel.
Yeah,
I thought you're
minstrels, like a little minstrel band.
I thought it was
guy
like
with a tambourine.
when a woman bleeds out of her vagina.
Yeah, that could be. It could be both.
Okay.
It could be both technically, but like a guy with a tambourine and they're walking around like the night days.
All right, in the night days.
Yeah, like Renaissance.
Got
or something.
Got it.
I'm imagining this like a little troupe. Like I probably could have made it in like a little region. You know what I mean? Like if there was a region, I would probably have like a little harpsichord or something like that. But in this day and age, there's so much music, and you can listen to the best guy on the planet right now. And whatever that is for you, but like basically, I did all the marketing shit for that, and so when I got sober, I was like, all right, I got to finish college. I was 8 years into a 2-year degree or whatever.
Did you do that program as well?
Yeah. I did finally finish.
Oh, you did?
2-year degree.
Oh, I quit. Yeah, I couldn't find a parking spot, so I fucking quit. Right. So tell me a little bit about all this goofy shit that you're doing now to get attention.
Yeah, so the last 3 events, I guess, for roofing, we did we did tattoos in the booth, which we actually, it was at RoofCon. We gave away, it was essentially like 38 tattoos and real tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoo artists in the booth.
I remember that.
and 8 of them were the Hook logo, which was kind of crazy. And one of them I'm Best Damn Roofer.
Yeah.
So he did it on his wrist. So sometimes he's saying crazy shit on Instagram. He's like, ah, and I'm like, oh God, there's our logos right there.
Oh, that's cool.
And like a couple clients, and then other people just like, oh, free tattoo. You know, like once you're covered, it's like, fuck it. You know?
Yeah, right.
And so we did that one, and then we brought Best Damn Roofer to Roofing Process Conference and gave away like gifts, but some of them were bad and some of them were good. So that was fun. He was dressed up as Santa.
Yeah.
It was like
what was a bad gift?
Like a fucking super sour pickle, or like something very hot. Or
what
something.
was a good gift?
A good gift was like a Primeline tool. Because you know his shit.
Yep.
And you know, like we did. This is the thing that it did. I was trying shockvertising, where it's like get a lot of attention for doing something maybe kind of negative. Which I'm not gonna endorse, because I did lose a client over it.
Did you?
Yeah, and so we pretended he was snorting cocaine in our booth, and then we had like a couple times where different people's videos where it's like in the background, and he's like, you know. Anyway, so some people did not like it. I did get a lot of like. There's a lot of people like screenshot it and like put it in Dimitri, because Dimitri's like, people shouldn't be drinking at conferences or whatever, and like. And
way to do his voice.
Yeah,
that's good.
There's a light version. I didn't want to be too offensive. But there would be people like putting a picture of that in his comments. They're like, this happened at your conference.
Oh.
And it's like, well, it was a fucking joke. But yes, we did technically do it for that reason.
People need to learn how to take a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, have a fucking sense of humor.
Yeah. We were snorting, it was basically, like, apparently you can get caffeine that you snort. I wouldn't recommend it for people in recovery, really, after I was like, because I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Did you do those things that they're running around at RoofCon where you take that sniff of that fucking thing?
Oh, yeah. But I'm actually doing that during my talk today, because I'm talking about I'm not going to go into anything with marketing, but it's like how to get different chemicals, and norepinephrine is like, if you take a smelling salt, it like makes you suddenly very alert.
So you're going to do that?
Yeah.
Because you need more fucking energy?
Yeah. Everyone in the crowd, I'm trying to create these 5 chemicals in everyone's brain during the talk.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to do more interesting shit, because, you know, like, man, it just gets boring. So
yeah.
And I'm, you know, an alcoholic, so I'm kind of like fucking interested in just like, what can we do next? It's crazy.
Right.
So the next one, we sponsored the Dimitri fight, which was the last thing we did, and which I think turned out. I think more people should have sponsored that fight, but it was very spicy, and so I'm sure like. And
then we got to have the moment at IRE where you run into Lee and have to take your shirt off.
Yes, that was interesting. Were you there?
Yes, I was standing right there with all of you.
I was trying to figure out if he's trying to humiliate me or what. I am a little fat. So, but basically what I did, I decided to do, I was like, you know what, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go get a trainer. So now I have a trainer. And
good.
By the next IRE, if he makes me take my shirt off, I'll be fucking svelte.
That was just weird.
That was weird.
It was, that was odd.
That was odd. I mean, so... I
don't have a dog in the fight in any of this, right? Like, I have absolutely zero fucking relationship with Dimitri. Yeah. And, like, I know Lee, right? Like, I've never done anything with him.
Did you watch the fight, though?
I went to a movie with my daughter.
Okay.
I watched it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like most people in the roofing industry watched it. So I was like...
I watched it later,
Like, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good sponsorship opportunity. I mean...
Yeah.
No offense, but, like, we... paid less than we paid to be at this show. And
really?
We'll probably...
No, I think it was a good sponsorship opportunity for sure.
We'll probably get more visibility from that than we did.
I don't disagree. Yeah. And it was a better fight than I think people thought it would be. Right?
Because it looked like Dimitri was going to get his ass whooped.
Because Lee can fight. Like, Lee knows how to fight.
Sure.
Lee just fucking gassed his ass. Himself, I mean. Like, he smoked himself. Because I think he was, you know what I mean?
He went too hard.
He went too hard.
What do they call it? Adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
So he it's something. Hey, we all could learn a lesson from, like running out so quick with so much energy.
But you could tell that he had a skill set.
Oh yeah, he's definitely more skilled.
Yeah.
But that's the deal, dude. Skilled versus like, and then also like sometimes when you are the underdog, you've got like something to fucking prove.
100%.
And Dimitri, like, he's talking about his training. He was doing 2-a-days and shit like that.
Yep.
You know, like
Yep.
he was training like an underdog would train.
Yep.
That's how that happens. And
Yep.
I think that was definitely, it made it very interesting. And I hope that they do like a fucking like documentary about it, because I keep on like telling people outside the roofing industry, I'm like, the roofing industry is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
People don't realize.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's fucking, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Why is there so much interesting shit going on in the roofing industry? But yeah, like because I'm popping over a little bit to HVAC and plumbing.
Are you?
And I'm like, what do you guys
But
got?
are they like that at all?
No.
Really?
It's not the same. They do have influencers and they do have like beef.
Yeah, because I knew HVAC did, because Jason Walker interviewed me one time, and I was like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, you don't know who I am? I'm like, no, like, you're in fucking HVAC.
Yeah, and he has beef with somebody in the industry. And I don't know if you talked to him about that, but
no, in our industry?
In HVAC. And that would be the Dimitri
My
Lee
level of give a fuck would have been so low that...
But it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it just makes it interesting. Like, we're all, we're in the industry and we don't have roofs to put on.
Right.
So,
do you think that whole whole hate relationship is genuine?
I would say
I made jokes that I thought it was like a fucking radio war from the 90s.
I would say that they definitely actually hate each other. I think Lee is a little bit more like on the surface with his like negative, like he's very frustrated. Like, wouldn't you, if Dimitri, fucking did that with the videos? Like, he's very real frustrated, and
Sure.
And he should be, because homie probably fucked up his business a bit. Like, if you look at his Facebook ads, all the comments are pretty fucking negative.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
It's hard to block all that.
Correct.
So, it just feels like a little bit like that would make it real.
Right.
If it wasn't, if it was ever WWF. It fucking got real at some point.
At some point it got real. It might have been Radio War in the beginning.
I think it was Radio War, but it just kind of escalated. You're fucking around, and then
somebody found out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then somebody fucking found out.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see where that goes.
I hope they fucking, I've said this before, but I think ultimately just fucking no one cares at a certain point. Like, there has to be a spot where we move on to some other fucking interesting thing.
I think the rest of us have.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I think the rest of us have. I think that I think they both say that they have, but I would say that they both haven't. 100%.
Yeah, and if I was,
I don't think they're going to hug it out either, though.
If I was recommending something to them personally, it would be like, let's move on to the next thing.
I agree.
So much more interesting shit going on in the industry. And hope, basically people have so much, I've talked about the chemicals. People have so much cortisol for you, and that's like the stress hormone, and like, you shouldn't constantly be related to stress.
Right.
Like, and that's what I'm like with that's why I moved on from those 3 kind of intense things, tattoos, like all this shit.
Right.
Because I'm trying to smooth it over. Oxytocin is the love hormone. I'm trying to do like, and it's love, community, babies, all this thing. So I got my baby with me, and we're donating to Roofers in Recovery because I'm trying to fucking smooth over the spiciness.
Do you think I'm missing out because I don't do gimmicky shit?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, I've thought about it, right? Like, I've never done it because I feel like it doesn't fit my brand properly. You know what I mean?
And I'm more just experimenting because I'm a marketer, right?
Yeah.
So everything.
And I'm not.
Everything's experiments to me. And I will say, I think some of those failed, but at least I learned something.
Sure.
So I fail a lot with our marketing for us. Like, I'm trying crazy shit, and some of it makes me lose a client instead of gain a client.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh, don't do that one again.
Yeah. Well, but in the same breath.
Yeah.
That might have been the fucking client you wanted to lose.
Yeah.
So that you could gain 4 other ones that understand who you are,
Yeah.
right? Like, I never get upset anymore if I lose a client.
Sure.
Because it's like, I was supposed to lose that fucking client,
Yeah.
right? Because that was a conversation when I started the show that I had to have with myself was, am I truly going to be authentically me on this?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be people out there that research me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
When we try to go get some big contract, and they're going to look me up, and if you Google me, this is probably going to be the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
Right? And so then I have to decide, do I have to play a character
Sure.
so that people will work with me, or do I want to work with people that are attracted to me and I'm attracted to them based on who we are as humans, right? And so, and it wasn't an easy decision. Like, I'm not pretending like that was an easy, like, no, of course that's what I'll do, right? It was, I had to like I had to take a hard look in the mirror and go, are you okay possibly losing clients because you're going to authentically be yourself on this show? And it was not an overnight decision. Like, I had to sit there and sit on it for a while, and finally I just went, yes, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
No, it's for sure. And I mean, like, one thing is, like, for instance, Hook, like, we got like liberals on our like, and it's a little like, we're like a little bit like, we've got shirts that are like powered by women and stuff like that, and it's positive because we're trying to like attract females in the industry to like the company and different things like that. But I know that some people are like, fucking liberals. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Like, but realistically, if that guy hates me and is like, I've got a gay guy on my team, if they hate me, fuck it. Like, you look at, like, I fucking wear like ankle biters and fucking, you know, if you hate me for being like a little bit fucking liberal, then fine. I'm in Minnesota. I'm like the most conservative guy in Minnesota, but the most conservative guy in Minnesota.
Congratulations. That's a low bar, but yeah.
No, exactly. You know what I'm saying. I
do know what you're saying. So what's your, what's Tim and Hook's vision for 24?
Yeah. Oh man, so we're headed into HVAC. So I know there's like this is a little bit more, your audience, a little bit more roofing. And that part of the reason we did that, not that this is a business podcast, but was because you can't have too many people in one area. We have one client per 500,000 people. So I'm trying to like think ahead. Yeah. So that we don't have to like stop growing because I have like too many like people in one area, that type of thing. So I'm excited about that industry. And I do think that there's a ton of things that roofing should and could learn from HVAC. And one of them, I was trying to tell somebody, God, I can't not talk about marketing, bro.
It's fine.
One of them was like, I'm like, I think we should have stickers, man. And I'll like somewhere. Oh, yeah. I was saying buy the fucking like garage door opener or something like that with your roofing company information to remind them of who does the roof.
We did fridge magnets.
That's good, but then the fridge goes away. What about the house? What if it's staying in the house?
Oh, yes, smart. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Homeowner changes or whatever. Like, I still go down to the water heater and see the fucking who the plumber is. You know, is there something that we could do?
Where would you put that?
Yeah, if there is, and I'm not saying I know what it is, but there should be something that owns the house a little bit more. That we did this roof 7 years ago. If the hail hits, fucking, it's us. You know, and commercial roofers. That's
fucking genius.
We have a commercial roofer that does that up the ladder. You know, as you're going up to the roof, you know, it's as you're going up.
Yeah.
So like, there's obviously some opportunity there to like own the roof, not just the homeowner.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah. So, but the real vision is like learn from HVAC and plumbing, bring it over to roofing. Roofing is still our number one. We got like 75 roofing clients and like 7 or 6 HVAC companies. So it's like still the main love, and it's ultimately we're always going to be giving back. And I think I'm just trying to like create a scalable business. And I don't know, man. It gets cool, dude. Once you have leaders in place that run shit. Yep. And they're so much smarter. They've got the numbers and they got like, I'm looking at dashboards and shit's improving. And I'm out here. I'm just out here marketing and I'm like having fun. And then I go back and lead and I do a rah-rah and I strategic decisions. I do that, but it's the ability to like go back and lead leaders and then market for fun and then like still have it run smooth without me constantly micromanaging it. Yeah. And we have to every once in a while, right? We have to run in and fucking do something. But it's just learning how to do that and not run in on dumb shit where I shouldn't.
I agree. So at the end of every episode, as we're wrapping up here, and I'm sure you know this because you watch all of the episodes to the very end, we give the floor back to the guests, because I want to give the floor back for the last couple of minutes, because there's always something that either they came with in their brain of, I want to make sure that I share this, and I am an asshole and didn't ask it. Sure. Or there was something that we touched on and we didn't dig enough into it that you want to make sure that the audience gets from it. Yeah. So I want to always give you the opportunity to kind of wrap that and land that plane.
Yeah, I think I'm like besides that one thing I talked about at the beginning was a little bit like negative towards that individual. I really want to fucking have more love and positivity in the roofing industry. Like I want to be part of it. I want community.
Yep.
I want to help build this shit and make it more positive. We have Dan Walrek, the $18.5 million guy at our booth, and he's so effective because he loves people, and he wakes up every morning trying to meet and get to know 3 people. He has like these goals every day about meeting people and making a good impression and being a good person.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm trying to learn from these high performers that like are good to people, and I think that there are so many once you look around, and so that's the beautiful thing. And like, get around people. I don't know, that's the positive thing. Is like, get around people that are high performers and making a really positive impact on the world. And I think that's another thing I'm trying to do this year, and I think we all could learn to do more of.
I agree. Start being around positive people, and why don't you start coming to our Roofers and Recovery meetings on Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
Okay. And what do you have another one? You said
Thursday mornings at 7. I've never been to that because I help my wife get my daughter ready for school at 7 in the morning. Okay. So like, I'm not gonna skip.
I feel like that might be one that I might be more likely to get that one.
There you go.
Because it's just the nighttime. It's like my wife's.
Got you. Yeah. But anyway, there's Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. Central, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central. So if you're looking for a meeting or you're looking for help, that's where you fucking go, or you message one of us and we put you in the right place. So Tim, dude, thank you for coming
Thanks
today.
For being on.
I really appreciate you. Everybody, thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, all that fucking shit that everybody says. No sponsors here, so Zyn, for all of your nicotine needs. My goal is to get a fucking sponsorship from Zyn one day. So Zyn, what's your favorite flavor? I just started
podcasters love Zyn, dude.
Love Zyn. I hate all the little fucking weird names they come up with, like, whatever.
Can I smell this?
You sure can. It's got different flavors. I mix them up.
Oh.
So I've got coffee in there, citrus, and cinnamon. I just got coffee the other day. Thought I was going to hate it. Love it. Love it. Love Zyn. Also, no sponsors here. I pay for fucking everything. So share this shit. Get people to watch it if you got anything out of it. If you didn't, don't fucking watch again. Holy shit, that cackle was fucking loud. Do whatever you want, but we hope that you watch, we hope that you listen, we hope that you share and subscribe. Also, cult culture movement. If you're looking for a opportunity to be around other men, women, and get a little bit better, get some personal growth, and help each other, reach out. We do group coaching calls also twice a month in that world. So that's all sponsorship shit out of the way. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining in. Tim, thank you for being here. And remember, everybody out there, to be authentic or get the fuck out.
You can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Yeah.